Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a sketchbook flip through. So let's get into the video. This first illustration is an illustration of my OC character Lily, and this is one of the first illustrations I actually tried to give a background to. And I actually planned out the background and I really like it. The only problem I have with this is the length of her arms, which is something I really do need to work on because I seem to do this a lot. Her arms finish here and they should actually probably finish about here. But apart from that, I really like this. It's very bright and colourful and quite fun. On the next page, I did a unfinished grid of all my original characters, which I struggled with a bit. I found it really hard to make really small illustrations and still kind of fit in a lot of and show a lot of the characters' personality and everything. So I don't really like this page very much. This was just a doodling page. I did this while I was online doing an online lesson. And there's some random things here, but it's fun, I guess. This next page was redrawing my old art, but I didn't do this online or anything. This was just me and my wee sister. I was having a bit of fun. I don't really like it very much. The pose is really weird. Her arms are still extremely long, and the background isn't great. But at least I actually gave it a background. This was some stuff I did for school. These are some sketches in a pink pencil, which I like doing. And this was some sketches in pen, which is on YouTube. And I'll leave any YouTube videos down in the description, just in case anyone wants to watch them. After I finished the video, I did go in with watercolour, and I quite like the page. Slightly creepy, but that's fine. This was, and I was on FaceTime with my friend, and I was having a bit of an art block at this point, but I had no inspiration. And then I looked at my watercolor pot. So I have this watercolor pot that I actually made myself, and I glued on these little miniatures on it. And I drew one of these little miniatures, and I really like how it turned out. And I just filled in the space with some flowers to make it look like fairy, like the miniature is a fairy, or was a fairy. And yeah, that's what this is, and I quite like it. More sketches from Pinterest. This was actually an advert, and I just liked the advert, how the advert looked, so I drew it, and these were just on Pinterest. More Pinterest things, sketches. These are some really random, these were some random sketches, again from Pinterest, and bright colours. And this was don't know what to draw on YouTube, and the video will be again in the description. And yeah, I don't really like this page very much. I guess I was going through a bit of art block, so the art from it isn't going to be great, but I did something. Also, I feel kind of awkward drawing on camera, or I used to. Now I don't mind it, but I used to kind of feel awkward, so everything I made on camera didn't turn out as well as I hoped. But again, this is more sketches. I actually did that in pen, but the rest of it is just sketches. I tried doing more kind of illustrative, simple stuff here. I didn't know what to draw, so I wrote a little bit of a conversation down there, and then did this, whatever that is, which is even weirder. And this is my OC Lily, which was done quite a bit after, which I quite like. Sometimes I don't finish a page quite, and there'll just be some empty spaces, and I'll just fill it in after with something. Sometimes they're quite random. This is more sketches. This was after I watched Drawing with Waffles, drawing scrunch up poses. So I tried doing some kind of scrunched up poses. This was redrawing my old art on YouTube, and this was done after to fill in that space there. And I actually like this illustration better than these ones, so I might redo that video and redraw these because I don't like these very much. They're quite bad. This was a drawing of my OC Ariane, and this was just a random drawing after. This was on YouTube. I can't remember which video it is, but just some lovely pink sketches, and this was again done after to fill in the space. This was practicing colour theory, but the video ended up being more in shade and tone than colour, so I will have to redo that. A lot of my older videos, they don't make much sense. It was like I was trying to be clickbaity, which is weird because I'm not that interested in it anyway, and like I'm not that interested in being clickbaity, and it doesn't make sense because you look back and the videos are quite bad. But I will try and redo this. I quite like this illustration and this character, but I don't like how these turned out and random eyes. I always end up having these random eyes everywhere. I really like drawing eyes. My school books are full of just random illustrations of eyes, like because I'm not really paying attention to what I'm drawing because I'm listening to the teacher, and there's just these eyes in the corner. But yeah, an entire page based on eyes. This is on YouTube. I had fun doing this. A lot of fun. I didn't have to, it wasn't like I was doing anything complicated, and it was just really fun to mess around. This was repainting my old art, and this was my bunny painting. I don't like the composition of this painting, but I felt like I couldn't change it because I was redoing old art, and it should keep, sorry, I can't speak, but I should keep the composition of it. So it just shows how much I've improved in my painting skills rather than just illustrations in general. But yeah, I would change quite a lot of things because there isn't much to look at. Also, it's very dark, but the actual bunny actually looks like a bunny this time instead of whatever that creature was last time. And yeah, quite like it, but don't like the composition. This is sketching. This is actually very recent. I don't go in order sometimes. Like sometimes I end up with like pages that were empty. I will put out the video hopefully next week, but this was for the first page of my sketchbook, and I've sketched some things out, so that's a spoiler. This is another spoiler for another video coming up. This was redesigning my OC Hannah. These were my original designs, these different designs that I had of Hannah, and then this was what I finally came up with, this character. This was her face. Yeah, I kind of wish I did it like that way, but anyway, this was just me, some pleasure of sketching Lily, my OC Lily, and then these are just random characters. I really like how the hair turned out. This was me practicing how to draw shoes because I have a problem with drawing shoes. I can't draw them. This was my final drawing for that, where I drew shoes. I don't like this very much. The blush isn't great. The hair didn't turn out very well. There's not very much shading. The way the shoes turned out, even though that was the entire point of the illustration, isn't great. And her position, it's not atomically correct. It's really bad. So I don't like this illustration. So let's just move on. This was me just practicing landscapes, not on YouTube or anything, just for pleasure. Again, more practicing of landscapes, which was fun. I enjoyed it, but I'm not very good at it still. I do want to make a video on me trying harder with actual reference photos because I did these without references. This was me drawing a character based off of passion fruit, which is on YouTube. Final illustration for that thing. So while I quite like it, like the idea of it, I kind of wish I had reference photos for this because they're not great. Also, I had some bleeding problems with the line art here, and yeah, I've worked on it a bit, and I now use more reference photos than I used to, but also the poses aren't great. But it was fun. It was fun doing it. I know I sound like I'm really complaining, but it was fun doing it, and I'll try to complain less. This was some sketches, illustrations of my OC Lily I had some reference photos on Pinterest. If you ever want to see any of my reference photos, they're all on Pinterest, and that will be in the description. Some more sketches of my OC, and I do have footage of this, so I might post it. This was my first Inktober of the year. I really like how this turned out. I did a background, which was really fun to do. I really should do backgrounds more often, but I never end up doing it. So I really should do that. It's not the most complicated background. The chair's a little bit wonky. I know this is not historically accurate at all, but that's what I did. So I don't really think I've ever done anything historically accurate, even if I do try and draw kind of more old looking drawings. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. It's good. This is doing some line art illustrations, so doing illustrations just with line art, and I do have footage of this, so move on. And this is Inktober again, which was fun. This was me drawing Rachel Maxey. I don't like how this turned out that much because it doesn't look like Rachel Maxey. Sorry, I really can't speak today. This is not good. But yeah, it doesn't look like Rachel Maxey, and I don't like how the illustration just turned out. It's not atomically correct. Her arms aren't the same length. This arm's extremely long, like it like reaches up and down past her knee. I clearly try to cut off her legs. I do that a lot, even though I know I should practice drawing shoes. I always end up cutting off their feet so I don't have to. The shadow is okay, and the hair just looks really bad. I'm not great with Inktober anyway, but I've been trying. This is, I think the prompt for this was evil, and yeah, I can't remember the word for this, but it was fun doing it. I don't know what this is, but I liked it before. Oh, another thing about this, I don't know what I did here. I cut it out of the video, but I did not like what I did here. I think this was supposed to be a curtain or something to hide some of the white space behind her, but it just looks weird. Anyway, this was me drawing with Waffles original characters, Hyacinth and Sage, and I enjoyed doing this. It was fun. I really like this one and this one. This one's not so great. This isn't that great. And her like weird smoke thing behind the characters looks so much better than mine. But I tried. And this is the last page of my sketchbook. This was drawing a jump. I think the prompt word for this was jumper, and I drew this. I had a reference on Pinterest, and I really enjoyed doing that. If you liked watching this video, please like and subscribe. I post every Friday, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.